Spider-Man say? He says, suck well, flesh flies. That's... All this sounds wrong. This is stupid. Guys, this is fucking stupid. Shit. Fuck, I guess we're marveling.
Models.
Yeah, not the kind you're thinking.
You
guys basically both outed
We're talking
yourselves
about the
as
plastic ones. No, not the kind you're thinking.
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Swish.
There was some real snarly joking going on right before podcast audio tape was rolling.
Gnarly. Yeah.
It was
a lot of hyena jokes.
There really were. About how Dave and Tom are both turning their lives around to be model boys.
We're model boys. We're little model boys.
I bought one model of the USS Enterprise D.
And you were like, this is me now.
This is me, yeah. Well, it's just going to be Star Trek stuff.
Are you going to paint
Star
it?
Trek stuff.
Yeah.
No, it's painted. I think. God, I hope. God, I
hope
hope.
it isn't.
If you don't paint it, Dave, it's going to look wretched and stupid.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
the Enterprise is already model gray. I think it has stickers. I think I have to be a sticker, like a sticker.
You could be
pervert.
a marker boy. You could be a marker pervert. They make markers that you can use instead of paints.
I gotta say, if you don't age that thing the way it would in space, what the fuck have you done with your life, Dave?
Right. If you don't buy a ticket on Richard Branson's airplane for that model so that it can taste space.
If you don't Bob Ross that shit and get many satisfying weekends touching it up, why the fuck did I have to hear about it, Dave?
Get like a micro detail brush, like a detail brush that's like half the width of the tip of a razor blade.
Right,
so you can go right up into the bridge window and paint a little Picard looking out of the window.
That's such a good idea.
Looking out forlornly at his space.
These are great ideas.
Yeah. I want to see you do that.
You can paint the scene. You can try, if you get like a really tiny brush, you can paint the scene where he smashes all of his models in First Contact.
So I was going to do him looking out the window, thinking about how his nephew and brother burnt alive.
While he was cosplaying for Worf's birthday or some shit.
It was Worf's promotion.
Worf's
but
promotion.
difference.
Yeah, it was a work event. He was wearing a fucking Horatio Hornblower costume for a work event while his brother and nephew burnt to death in a vineyard.
Yeah.
Paint that on your model, Dave.
Put
that in your model.
All of that will be writ upon Picard's face. That's why you need a really fine detail brush.
Okay, listen. This is Marvelin. This is a show where we remember the MCU, so all of you can catch up for the next big event, the next big thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Which, as of recording this, is Thunderbolts, which is out this week.
I love the idea that they're listening to this to catch up for Thunderbolts.
Yes.
What a great idea.
It's important.
Yeah.
Who are you? Who are we?
I'm Adam
David.
Genzer, and I talked over Dave, who that was, and I'm leaving this space for the other guy now.
And this is Tom. I'm the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are.
I'm the interloper.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
He's been trying that nickname out off mic. Just tell it to the old interloper.
Sliding that into the casual conversation, seeing if it sticks. I started putting it on my business cards. Not calling attention to it, waiting for somebody else to bring it up. That's how you do it.
Love to see you make business cards. It's like another thrilling idea that you would have them and circulate them in any way. That would really excite me.
Some.
Of course.
Don't you remember when they came around?
We all did.
Yeah, we all did. They
idiots.
came around at crack. They were like, "Do you want business cards?" And I was like, "Sure."
We were fucking morons. Who needed it? Who wanted it? Who needed it?
I don't
Not
think
a
I,
single one.
I don't think I
didn't need
gave
it.
a single one out.
No.
Why would I? Why
Absolutely as a
need
novelty.
my business card?
I gave them out like the first day. Like I gave one probably to my family. Like here, call me.
I just liked having them in my wallet.
Let's do
very
lunch,
stupid.
I believe, is the customary greeting. And here's your card.
Yeah, squash, isn't it?
Squash.
They say
Squash.
let's do squash. I don't know what the fuck that is. Is that
You
that wall
eat
ball?
Squash. No, you
Is that
eat
that wall ball
squash
game?
at lunch.
They get together and eat squash. Is that
Yeah.
what? So that's
Is that
what
what it
Patrick
is?
Bateman's always talking about.
I thought
Yeah.
squash was like a primitive pickleball.
It's where
You know?
it's where you
Yeah, that wall ball game.
It's where you masturbate to someone stepping on food.
Oh, I don't even need a card for that.
No, you don't, but it
like,
helps.
welcome to Thursday. You know.
Yeah.
Why do you need a special name for that? Just call it masturbating while somebody steps on food.
Exactly.
Don't even
And
abbreviate
on
it.
that subject,
Oh, good.
we're here to talk about Iron Man 2.
We sure
Yeah, we
are.
are. Yeah, it's gonna be
We're
great.
here to go through the plot, the premise,
Yeah.
to bring us through it.
To record this
That
for
we all
posterity.
remember.
We're gonna
Yes,
record it for
exactly.
posterity, so everyone remembers it finally,
Exactly.
the way it really happened.
Yeah.
So
few people remember Iron Man 2.
but
Right.
we remember,
We
right?
do. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Photographically.
Yeah.
All right,
Verbatim
so-
from start to finish.
We have the Marvel logo, right? That's how it
Yeah,
starts.
I'm closing my eyes. It's
Yeah,
playing
feel
behind
good.
my eyelids.
Feeling
All right.
great right now about that.
And then, you know, I'll begin it.
Oh, thank you.
It starts with
Russia
Mickey
prison.
Rourke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got this.
Okay.
I got
All
this.
right. All right.
And
Take the
he's
wheel.
Russian, and he's welding
He sure
plans.
is. Yeah.
Thinking
And
about
he's like, I'm mad at Tony Stark because he killed my father.
He's angrily welding science at pictures and newspaper clippings of Tony Stark.
but in his mind, and we know this from later, he's thinking about what he's going to do to his bird. He's thinking
Yeah.
about
He
how
has
much
a
he loves
bird.
his fucking bird. He loves
I
him.
can't wait until I get my bird.
I miss you, bird. I
we
miss
can
you so
travel
much,
abroad.
bird.
The bird and I have always talked about
and
riding
his
a
name
train
his name
across
is-
Europe.
is his name Cletus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
We mean
Yes.
the
His
character,
name is
right?
Cletus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cletus. He's Russian though.
Uh-huh. Kletustovich.
Yep. Cletus Kletustovich. That'll be easy to
I
say.
know he becomes Whiplash. I know he changes his name to Whiplash.
Yeah, he transforms into the character from Masters of the Universe.
But his dad, Beatus Kletustovich, had a relationship with Tony Stark's dad. We find out in this movie. Like
Did we
that's
find
the
out
key.
in this scene?
No, we find
He
out
makes
after.
a claim later.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the first time. Well, this is not the first time, but I think this is like the first signal that it was going to be a trend that like pretty much all of Iron Man's villains are going to be people that Tony Stark like personally wronged.
Yes.
Like,
where
it's like
you
all the
realize that-
Legacy.
Like all of his villains we should be rooting for.
right. All of Tony Stark's problems are just things he created.
Right.
That he like if he just didn't exist, it would cancel itself out.
Yeah.
Like
That
here,
includes like Ultron later.
yes, Ultron, the Vulture, and Spider-Man, Iron Man,
Right.
the entirety of Iron Man 3. So
Yeah.
here it's like, what does he do? This dude, Whiplashovich, his dad, Beatus Whiplashovich, worked with Howard Stark, and Howard like stole all his shit, just like straight up ripped him off. Mm-hmm. And
He still has like whip design.
I think like the arc stuff. Well, not the arc stuff, but some stuff.
I gotta say, the whip design feels like the one thing that Cletus has held on to. Like it's very
Yes.
precious to Cletus, that whip design. He really comes back to it a lot.
Yeah, he feels
know?
like he put his soul into that. Like that
Does
was what he
he-
put his personality into.
We're getting ahead of ourselves, but does he say, "I want you all to call me Whiplash from now on"?
Yeah.
Is that the idea?
And
So, like-
get me my board.
Give me
and
board.
Yeah.
Call me Whiplash from now on.
You call him Little Whip.
So the first scene, it's like credits, right? Is he's like
Yeah.
he's like
Yeah.
banging on a
Angrily sciencing.
he's banging on an anvil and he's like welding stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like it's Iron Man 2. And then we cut to Congress
Yeah.
and Gary Shandling's
Yeah,
there.
Larry Sanders is there.
Larry Sanders.
Yeah, Larry Sanders is angrily not receiving Iron Mans. They all want an Iron Man. Everybody, please give us an Iron Man.
Yeah.
Right?
And
Everybody
wait,
wants
is he
one.
late? Is this like does he walk? I feel like he walks in with glasses and he's like I'm Tony Stark.
Tonathan,
And then
yeah, he sure does.
Everybody's like, grumble, grumble, grumble.
He is unconscionable. He is unacceptable in this congressional hearing. Like he is. Well, he is so out of control. It's like, bro, settle the fuck down. You know,
he's behaving like he has he's behaving like he's a guy with the only world-killing weapon in the world, which he is.
Right.
Like he's the only guy with like the fucking space laser super suit, and he's behaving as such.
The exchange is basically like Gary Shandling's like, Mr. Stark, you got in a mechanized suit and you bombed a Middle Eastern town. That's extremely illegal. And then Tony Stark's just like, whatever, bro.
Yeah.
And then the audience is like, woo!
Yeah, he's just Spicoliing his way through Congress.
And everybody's like, fuck yeah! Wear that suit, bomb people. I don't give a fuck.
Larry Sanders doesn't even have the presence of mind to like hand out his pizza or anything. He's just getting owned, owned by Tony, who's like, jog on. You know
dunk after dunk.
It's so bad.
And then this is where they bring out the hammer, right?
Yeah, Justice Hammer time.
Yeah. And the hammer's like, he does dance. He dances.
He dances out there. He dances in and out of every scine. Yeah. Like that guy in Twin Peaks.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I know him and love him. I know and love that man, and I'm glad they got his spirit in this movie.
Yeah, it was why they cast Sam Rockwell, I seem to remember. They're like, it was really important for us that this character danced in and out of every single scene, so we needed somebody who could shuffle their feet in exactly the right way. And I mean, Sam Rockwell's the only guy, so.
The director was like, hey, remember James Brown? Well, you're gonna. Because here comes as much of that as we can shove down your head. And they do.
So we've specifically haunted his feet with James Brown's spirit.
So the hammer skates in, and then like, why he's there?
He's showing off all his RoboCop 2s, all of his shit
got a bunch
Iron
of RoboCop
Man,
2s.
like including the one that spins completely around and breaks a guy's back.
Doesn't Tony hack the TVs and
to show him all the
snuff
failures?
film?
Yes.
So just so that the audience can follow the actual events. So Hammer Time dances in, and he's like, "We don't even need Tony, right? Look at all the I got my own robots."
Snapping his fingers.
And then Tony, I don't know, like points at the monitor. I don't know, somehow hacks it in this obnoxious Bart Simpson-y way.
He has like his watch or something, and he goes like bloop bloop, and which is funny because it's just like these days you can just say like, all right, I'm using my phone to AirPlay on your TVs.
Right.
Like he's just AirPlaying, and everybody's like, oh, how did he do that?
Well,
and then like we're all going to be able to do that in like 5 years.
I think a lot of us could do that right then. No, these movies are still written by like people.
We're very impressed by that tech.
Grew up in like the 70s, I guess.
What's funny about it though is the stuff he puts on screen is like captured army like cameras that wouldn't have been circulated anywhere. No one asks any questions about that. Nobody's like, how did he get it?
Oh, put him in handcuffs.
Yes.
Like he has a bunch of shit he stole. All that, like he's making the case for them. Where he's like, hey, if I'm such a vigilante, check out all this footage I hacked from your government. And they're like, exactly, Tony.
Are you not seeing this?
He is quite literally a terrorist vigilante.
Yes.
Like he's conducting like extrajudicial military operations around the world.
And he's doing it on a fucking skateboard. You know what I mean? He's doing it in the most radical way.
Yeah, he's being radical as hell.
It's the best.
So
it really
cool,
is
man.
just like...
Remember when he whips out the Iron Man suit that has a mohawk later? It's fucking sweet.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I'm going to remember it in the future. I'm about to remember. We're about to remember that.
We're going to remember it.
Okay, we're going to remember it right now. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, so the one that really stands out as like the narrative beat we all need to remember is the one Tom mentioned, which is we watch somebody in a robot suit. The suit twists torso at the torso all the way around, snapping a man in half.
And the hammer, I remember the hammer goes, I'll have you know the pilot survived that.
That guy lived.
Yeah, and it's like, no,
he didn't. You guys put that in there for the PG-13.
Yeah. He shame dances out of there.
180 degrees.
he shame danced right the fuck out of there as soon as he could after that.
So everybody cheers Tony. They're like, yeah, that guy died.
Yeah.
Do you understand when they turn that thing back around? It's gonna be like when they. It's gonna be like if they backed up the car from Mel Gibson's wife in Signs. Like this dude's guts are just gonna fall out.
The information that he survived it is actually more horrifying than him dying,
because he has to just be a torso.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got spider legs now, like those robot spider legs.
The Darth Maul legs.
Yeah, that's what he's got.
If that happened to me, I'd be like, Miss Hammer, you're going to get me the best fucking legs available.
Justice Hammer time, you're going to give me some of them dancing shoes with metal
they
feet
will
attached
dance
to him.
As good as you, sir. They will dance that good. Do you understand?
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I
won't
assume
be, but
Tony...
yes.
Tony, he skateboards out of this, and he's like, "Shibbity-bee, I'm gonna."
He high fives Don Cheadle on the way out. He says,
"Oh right,"
and that's how they
Don
pass.
Cheadle.
He says he's not Terrence Howard, and he's like, "I'm not Terrence Howard." Everyone, and everyone in the crowd goes like, "Woo!"
And then he's like, "I'm gonna be a race car driver."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he has an interlude with Pepper on the way to that, that's just sort of like, hey, we're still having a good old time, aren't we? And she's like, kinda. And he's like, that's good enough for me.
She's like, I have conflicts. Is he dying? Is it this where he's like, I'm dying?
He is dying
in the race car.
He is dying in this movie, and in the sense that he's using a fuel source that's poisoning him. Iridium, I want to say it was.
Okay.
You know, that shit you collect. The shit you collect in Stardew Valley. Like, he's dying of that. And so he has to keep changing it out, and it keeps poisoning him every time. That's his dilemma in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the scene is like, are we going to smooch? I don't know, maybe.
Where is this, in a helicopter?
It's in one of those combination helicopter airplanes, those Ospreys.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I'm horny for you.
But I also need you to be a better business partner. And he's like, look, I gave up journalists for you. That's enough, isn't it?
I'm not giving up my skateboard. And she's like, I need you to put the skateboard away. And he's like, never.
I just
skateboarded all through Congress.
Agree to disagree, he says. Yeah. And she's like, I guess that's it. I guess that's all there is.
Is he wearing a T-shirt for a rock band?
Yeah, of course.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. Would you like to say which one it was?
I don't know.
He's wearing the Rolling Stones 40 Licks.
Okay.
Wait, the greatest hits collection? He's wearing a T-shirt of the greatest hits collection by the Rolling Stones?
Yes.
Okay. I love that move because that's what an original fan would wear.
Yeah.
A greatest hits collection.
It's
T-shirt.
It's a way to let everybody know I like them all.
I like all of it.
I like
there's
all
not
of the
a
Rolling
single
Stone
track
songs.
I don't like.
I can
like
put on the
all.
greatest hits. Don't skip a single one.
You know that 90s hit? I like it as much as your favorites. I Get Off My Cloud. I like it that much. And I'm wearing the shirt to tell you that.
And they're flying, and he's dying.
Yeah, they're flying.
Dying.
He's dying. Yep.
He's like, what is he like coughing up? Isn't there there's black goo? Yeah. Oh, he has to drink the black goo.
Coughing up deadly goo.
We're not at the black goo yet, though.
I don't think so. That's just coming
Jarvis
in the
that
future.
gives him that.
Yeah. I think all that's happening right now is he's refusing to take responsibility for his company, refusing to play nice with the American government, and they're mad, refusing to respect Justice Hammer Time's dance moves, and refusing not to go watch F1 racing or participate in F1 racing in Europe somewhere.
Well, he does go.
That's what I'm saying. He refuses not to do that.
Oh, yeah. He goes and he's like, can I jump in there?
Yeah.
And they're like,
he
sure.
just walks on. This man is a menace.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm going to get in on this race.
Do you have
but
any
not
idea
before
how fucking dangerous that is? And every company and sponsor and league representative and insurance company back at they would all collectively lose their goddamn minds if Tony Stark just walked out into the middle of this racetrack.
He slips a hundy in all their pockets,
He's giving heart attacks to adjusters every day. Someone in the adjuster
single day.
Somebody's dying of a heart attack every day as his adjuster.
He is on a rampage currently.
This is why Obsidian Stank wanted to kill him so much in the last movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Tony Stark is racing Formula One.
So
also, real quick,
don't they have brunch?
Yeah, they do have brunch. Yes,
Brunch
you're going to bring up
Elon Musk.
Thank you.
Oh,
That's
you're right.
the one thing that needed to be brought up. They thought it would be the coolest thing in the world if Elon was kind of another Tony in the scene.
They really date
They
themselves.
thought, what a cool idea. This will play great. And it did.
The
He's like,
funniest
hey,
thing,
Elon, and Elon's like, everybody's gonna love me. And then they're like, yes, they are.
my favorite part about the Elon cameo is I had no idea who he was. So I read that scene.
Same.
When I saw it, I read that scene as he's just talking to somebody else to avoid speaking to Justice Hammer Time. Because he walks up to him to try to talk to him, and then Tony immediately gives him the shoulder to say hello, to say what's up to Elon, and presumably talk to him about some Nazi shit.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So
Yeah,
definitely talking
doze you
about
later, bro.
eugenics.
You definitely hung
like,
out with Red Skull, right? Yeah. So we're gonna meet up later and talk about that cosmic cube.
Oh, yeah. And Elon's going to get some tips from Hammer on how to design cars and robots and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
This is a business trip.
Just, brutalist machines that dismember
that explode. Yeah.
that maim and kill its occupants.
Listen, to the movie's credit, Musk fits right into this world.
He really does. It's funny that they position him as a Tony Stark when actually he's Justice Hammer Time.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
So they have brunch. It's great. He
Sips orange juice and champagne out of a flute, which is called a mimosa.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. And then he jumps into the race, and he goes vroom vroom. There's some race car driver who was like, this means a lot to me. Nope. Tony Stark's driving for you. He's going to do considerably worse and, in fact, make it all about himself.
Like, Tony's like, I don't think there's any skill involved in this craft. That's why anybody could do it. So I'll do it. How about that?
Right. He's like, I have an AI fly me around in a man suit. That's like being a race car driver, right? Those are the same things.
Same skill level, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the driver's like, I guess, Mr.
Just
Stark.
let Jarvis take the wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, he's doing fine for a while. Right.
Well, I mean, of course he is. Like,
yeah.
Honestly, he's zooming around at supersonic speeds in a man suit. Like, I think he can handle a 220 mile an hour race car.
I think it's safe to say we've all driven before. We could do this.
Yeah, anyone could do this.
That didn't
You're just
strike me as
driving.
problematic
You're
at all.
just driving.
Yeah.
So I love that the scene gets to, this is a real powerful lesson for kids, so I appreciate it. For any kid who is an aspiring billionaire or CEO or otherwise famous, powerful person with a lot of wealth, if you throw yourself into situations like this, part of the reason why everybody goes apeshit and very famous and or rich people can't just walk into the middle of a Formula One race is that they open themselves up to kidnapping and assassination.
Yeah.
Which low concern, but a possible concern. But Jack, wouldn't you know it? That's precisely what happens in this race. Because old Whiplashevich walks out. Another random dude walks out onto the racetrack. He's disguised as one of the pit crew, I believe. And just uses his
Barely
razor.
disguised.
Barely
Yeah.
disguised.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't look at that guy and think he fits in anywhere.
He's
that
a
guy
tattooed Hulk with fucking machine limbs.
with like 80s glam hair and
he looks amazing.
Yeah. He never stopped looking like Mickey Rourke. Like you can't at that point in his life, Mickey Rourke could never look like anything but Mickey Rourke, is my argument. Anyway, he does.
And this role, he had just done The
looks
Wrestler.
He looks like Bret Michaels got bit by a radioactive groupie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
And he had done The Wrestler, and it feels like his agent was like, congrats on The Wrestler. Do you want like a couple million real quick? And he's like, do I have to do anything? And they're like, not really.
You can do a Russian accent.
Yeah.
And Sam Rockwell will make fun of it to your face.
Yeah. Sounds good.
How many millions are we talking?
Yeah.
He strolls out there, says, "Give me board." And he starts whipping. He's demanding his board.
He just hates Formula One cars.
He is whipping cars
He's a
in
NASCAR
half.
dude.
Right.
Yeah. He's lacerating cars in half with his electro whip.
Tony has ruined everybody's day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I gotta say real quick, the whips, cool.
They are.
Obviously inferior to an Iron Man suit.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out why that was the strategy.
I assume
Why
he tried
wouldn't
to
he
make
just
a suit.
blast his fucking head off with his Iron Man laser?
Exactly.
I just feel like he just didn't have the funding, right? Because he was doing what
Makes all this. Yeah, he made all this in his laundromat in Siberia.
I hate to be the kind of person that picks a fight with a movie that we're all remembering perfectly.
Yeah.
But he spent a lot of time building those whips, those specialized high-tech whips, when he could have just bought a gun. You know what I mean, Dave?
gun would have
He could have
really
bought a gun
worked here.
Well, it didn't prove
know?
his point, right? He was trying to prove that Howard stole the ARC technology.
Well,
and
then
it's
make a
not
gun
quite
out of
the
the ARC
same
technology.
It's not quite the same technology, but yeah, he should have made a gun out of it.
Make an arc
Tony
gun.
did. Come on,
Yeah.
man. You're not making your case
Just a
very
single
well.
gun, just a 9mm,
With a blue fucking light in it if you want.
Yeah,
Great.
and just being
Tony-
like it's powered by blue.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Tony took this technology and made so many guns,
Right.
just for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, he only needed the one gun to get out of the cave. That flamethrower did the work for him.
And I
He
remember
was
here
just like,
what
what if I
happens.
kept adding guns?
Yeah. And I remember it's even worse because Whipples basically gets distracted doing whip tricks, if I remember. He starts
it's a
being
Wild
like,
West
look at the
stunt
cool
show.
stuff I can do with the
he's
whip.
like
Yeah.
Wild Bill.
And Tony has time. He's like, toss me the suitcase or something like that. And then someone tosses him a suitcase, right? And the suitcase has an Iron Man suit in it.
I
Yes.
believe so. Yeah, he's got a spare Iron Man suit in a case.
In the back of his car, right?
The logic for how he prepares and deploys Iron Man suits deserves a whole separate podcast series that we're not going to
It
do.
gets increasingly more magical, and I love
Yeah.
it.
And then, it gets more
It's-
boring.
Yes, it's incredible. This plan's incredible that he, you know what I mean? Like the suit
Yeah.
that then like deploys. Yeah, it's very silly. Anyway,
By the end, it might as well just be like, blip, it's on.
Well, it
like him
is.
snapping his finger. It is, because it's nanobots.
Yeah,
Everything's nanobots by the end, and it's like, how fucking
don't-
boring is this?
They don't explore it at all in the films, but it's kind of a cool idea in the comics because Tony. I mean, and it's not in every story, obviously, but there's the undercurrent idea there is that Tony's experimenting on himself to the point where he's not really flesh and blood anymore.
Right.
But they don't they don't explore that idea at all in these movies. But anyway,
that would be a cool arc
it's
for
kind
Iron
of interesting,
Man.
right? Yeah.
Well, because his humanity is always a part of his dilemma because he's not that good of a human. So cyberpunking him out is kind of an interesting trajectory for that character to
I would
go
want
morally.
an in-between suit.
yeah, because he's throwing himself into this to sort of justify his existence.
Right.
I want an in-between suit there
Yeah.
that tears out of his chest and hurts every time, where he's like on the ground, like, oh,
Like
God,
Wolverine, but from his chest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like just jizzing out of his chest, all these shards of metal that just like wrap around
It's
it.
like Alien. It's like it just bursts
Yeah.
out of his body like
Every
Alien.
time.
Yeah. Yep. It hurts every time.
Every time.
Yeah. That would be good.
So he becomes an Iron Man, and he beats up
Whiplashevich, Whipples.
Yeah.
In front of everybody. It's really embarrassing.
Right.
It's like,
And
dude,
then the
nobody's
race is
going to
over.
believe he stole it now because this guy just fucking whooped your ass.
Not only
Right.
that, but he's like, thank God Bird didn't see this. You know, like he's just very
Yeah.
pleased.
But I would never be able to meet Bird's case again.
So everybody who bet on Tony Stark the race stops because Tony Stark is attacked by a man with whips.
Right. That's the
Who
thing.
they win big on that.
Dave, that's such a good point. Like, he fucks everybody's money up there. You know what I mean? Like,
Tony Stark makes it all about him and fucks everything up.
Tony Stark collapsed a national economy here.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that was a economic unforced error, the likes
Yeah.
of which would hit him in the polls, if you know what I mean. Like, people would not be cool with that.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway. You don't want to fuck up bets, man. That's the biggest enemy he's taken on.
Right. Iron Man 3 is just the fucking mob coming after him.
Like, you can kill a lot of us. We got all the money in the world, motherfucker. Like, we'll build something. It'll kill you, you know?
Just shot in the back of the head in an alleyway.
That's it. They just send old De Niro after him.
Magic whips.
You piece of shit.
It's just old Robert De Niro
robot suit.
Murdering him at some deli somewhere, you know?
Yeah, just when he doesn't expect it.
Yep.
Joe Pesci just stabbing you in the back of the skull.
It is what it is.
So
anyway,
shouldn't
he
have
gets
fucked
out of
with
this.
the bets, Tony.
Yeah.
He gets out of this and he gets paranoid, right? He's like, I'm scared I'm scared. I'm gonna get whacked.
Well, he's sort of like, who is this guy? I thought I was the only one that had this tech. This guy knows this
alarming.
tech. What does that mean? And
So
then
he goes to talk to him.
right, because he gets imprisoned.
Yeah, and he does. We left out the fact that like he realizes his Iron Man suit is vincible to Whipple's tech.
Yeah.
He's just
Right.
like, oh shit, this guy can carve through me.
Yeah.
Put him in
Which
jail.
also harms his business, as I recall, because his business was like dependent on he's the only one, and now suddenly people are like, maybe Stark's not the only Iron Man.
Oh yeah,
right?
Gary Shandling's like, well, motherfucker.
This is where Justice Hammer Time gets to swoop in and take some of that dark money from the government.
Right. So okay, so he meets with Mickey Rourke, and they're in like a locker room.
Yeah, Cletus.
Wait.
Yeah. No, they're in a prison. They're in an actual
They're in a
prison.
prison.
Cletus
That makes more
Whiplashevich.
sense.
Yeah.
And he's like, what's your deal? And he tells him his deal, and Tony's like, I don't respect you, and leaves, more or less.
He basically just says, nuh-uh.
Yeah.
When the guy's like,
Pretty
your
much.
dad fucking ripped off my dad. It's bullshit. And he's like, no, and leaves.
Right.
Like, well, fine. Fuck you then. I come with you with my whips again.
And then Hammer comes to
So then
Sure
he gets
does.
kidnapped.
Whiplet.
Yeah.
Whiplash gets kidnapped, and we think, uh-oh, what the fuck's going on? And it turns out that Justice Hammer Time has had his military goons kidnap
right.
him and bring him to Justice Hammer Time's
He's
company.
in like an elevator,
They're in a hangar.
Yeah.
but when he gets kidnapped, isn't he like in an
No,
elevator?
they literally take him out of prison. They literally, like, the doors are open in prison. He runs out. He's like, what the fuck?
He's
You know?
also in an elevator. You're both
There's an
correct.
elevator.
Yeah,
My
there's
an
point is there's an elevator.
There
They
is
try-
an
it's
elevator.
a fake elevator. It's an ersatz elevator if you're
Right.
a series of unfortunate
Right.
events fan.
It's not quite the Hannibal Lecter escape, but it's pretty close.
It's
You know what I
pretty
mean?
close.
Yeah.
He puts on a different bird's face.
Yeah.
I am
Right.
different bird.
Right. So Winslet is he's with Justin Hammer, and he's like, I want my bird.
I want my bird.
me-
and he's
give
like,
me
I'll
bird
get you
back.
I'll get you a fucking million birds. What are you talking about?
Right. And he's like, just make me Iron Man suits.
Yeah, make me suits is what he wants.
Right.
Okay.
He wants
Yeah.
his Ron Man suits.
Meanwhile, Tony is dying, and like Jarvis gives
Of
him like
too
a
much
milkshake.
metal. Of too much metal.
Right. And Jarvis is like, drink this metal, this black liquid,
Right.
Yeah.
and that'll help you
I think
not die.
Jarvis
it'll
is. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. It'll dilute the poisoning effect the iridium is having on him. Is the
Wait,
idea?
does Samuel L. give him that?
No, Samuel L. helps
He's there, right?
later. Samuel L. pushes him later to solve this problem that he's like,
Got it.
it's gotten out of control. I'm sorry, Tom. You were going to probably give more detailed information here.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Okay, I'm very sorry.
No, it's
That's rude, and
All
I
right,
apologize.
so he's drinking this blueberry juice.
Oh, I remember. I was going to say Jarvis is probably like playing Dr. Mario with that mixture.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
he's just trying stuff.
Yeah, because Jarvis is like, I mean, humans don't matter. I'm a robot. I feel nothing.
Jarvis
If
didn't
I
go to
kill
medical
Tony-
school. Jarvis is using Google.
Yeah.
Like,
That's right. That's right. He's like, oh, guess who needs Jarvis again? It's
Yeah.
you, isn't it, Tony? You need
Jarvis
Jarvis
is
again?
asking
suddenly
Jeeves.
everybody
Sure.
wants Jarvis's help again.
Yeah.
Let me make you the heel juice, Tony. No problem, man. I'll just
Sure
make
would be
it up.
nice to have a body, you jerk.
Meanwhile, Pepper has a bodyguard, right?
Yeah, why not?
Pepper isn't Pepper like, I'm also concerned, and I want you to meet my bodyguard. She's boxing, my boxing bodyguard.
Yeah, her boxing bodyguard, Nasty Rome.
Right, and she's boxing
Johnny Fabs.
Johnny Fabs, Pleasant.
Happy Madison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
right. No, we
Tony's
called it
like-
Happy Hulkamania was the name we settled
Happy
on.
Hulkamania.
Happy
That's
Hulkamania.
Right. Yeah, Hulkamania.
Yeah.
So she's boxes. They're like, hey, check out my hot new bodyguard. She wears leather and she's boxing at the same time. Is she wearing leather when she's boxing? That doesn't feel like a good way to
No,
box.
she's not
Okay.
wearing any of the leather yet. She's just wearing like a suit, and then she just wears like gym clothes when she does a lot of flips to Happy Hulkamania and
Right.
really
She's
dazzles
just
and
beating the
bewilders
shit
him.
out of him.
Yeah, she does. She flip kicks his ass. Just doing so many flips.
And Tony's like, ooh la la.
It's some real mysterious skin shit. You know what I mean? It's very like what's her deal? But nobody ever asks in a direct way what her deal is, which is kind of a funny thing.
Right. So
Right?
Pepper got her from like an agency, I assume, of like, yeah,
She's
I
a
rented
temp.
a bodyguard and she knows how to do all this cool shit.
I got her
And
from
we're not
Apple
at all-
One.
Right.
$15 an hour. Can you
She's
believe
a
it?
task rabbit.
Yeah. Just $15 an hour.
Well, we know we later learned she's S.H.I.E.L.D., right? Is that the
Yeah.
idea?
We
Okay.
learn, around the end of the second act, we learned that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
not yet.
She's
Not
the,
yet.
She's the Black Widower.
Right now, we
Yes.
just think, oh, that's a very famous actor in an assistant role. That won't mean anything.
Right.
You know?
She's like, here's Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
Well,
She's kicking a lot of ass.
Going into the movie, everybody already knew she was Black
She was
Widower.
in the trailer a bunch.
Yeah, and you know,
Right,
it's
right, right.
Nasty Rome. Everybody knows that name.
Right.
Yeah.
I was surprised how much of this story starts to revolve around our relationship with Russia. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like the
Lot of Russia
geopolitical
in this.
piece of it. Yeah. It's like there's a lot of stuff going on in Russia that I don't think ever gets explored in any real detail. Am I wrong about that?
I think it sort of just gets kind of deflected to
Yeah.
the made-up nation and Civil War.
Okay. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
at the
they kinda
time, I
sweep
just
it
think
in
at the time it was like okay, I guess,
Right,
to
'cause
have
they're-
the bad guys are Russia, and then as Marvel became more globally minded, I guess they maybe pumped the brakes on that and just
they're-
invented their own Eastern European countries.
They're cooking Buckles right now, right? They're
Yeah.
cooking a Buckles with his arm, and we don't know yet, but they're gonna serve him up.
That's right. That's
Later.
right. The Winter Soldier.
Cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically, I think the idea is we created S.H.I.E.L.D. and we were like, we're gonna make these like godlike heroes to like lord over the world, and Russia was like, maybe we should try to do that
Right.
too. And they didn't really succeed.
arms
but
race, you
can't-
see.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, you can't really blame them for trying when America's over there like, we have a Norse god, and it's like, that's not fucking fair. He
Right.
should be helping everybody. He
Right.
shouldn't be
He's just kind of our buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why is he America's Norse god? They didn't
he's
even.
hanging out with the president.
He doesn't
Yeah,
even
it's
go
like-
to Norway ever. Like he
Yeah.
never, he never checks
We
in
don't
with
pay
his-
him anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't know anything about our politics. He just believes
Yeah.
everything we tell him.
Yep.
If we tell him to go just kill some guys, he'll go kill those guys. We'll
Yeah.
just tell him they're monsters or something.
He's basically Superman. He can cast lightning bolts from the sky.
Right. He's Superman without any context of like global politics. He's Superman, but he's not from this world at all. So yeah. He works for beer.
Yeah.
But before that, so Tony does some stuff.
Yeah, he does.
His blood. Oh, okay. His blood starts turning black. Is that
Yeah.
right?
He's got black.
Uh-huh.
He's got black.
and
chest.
he's like, burn it to the ground, motherfuckers! I'm Tony Stark.
Yeah, he's
And
upset
he
that he's dying. He's upset that his dad's legacy's in question. So he starts getting all drunky poo, and he goes to Pepper, and he's like, "Pepper, the company's yours now." And then he has a party with DJ AM.
And he pisses himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
He urinates in front of a group of people, and to the point of what he did at Congress, it's sort of like poetry. It rhymes. Where
I gotta
like,
tell you, he's urinating a lot of the time.
Oh, yeah.
When we
Yeah,
see him
yeah.
in that
But
Iron
this
Man
isn't the
suit.
first
but
time.
he
Yeah.
he pisses in front of a crowd, and they all go woo, which is like just like the beginning when he's just like, I'm a terrorist, and everybody's like, yeah,
he's drinking his own piss.
Like he just can't do anything wrong. Yeah, he's drinking his
own piss. He's pissing all of the time. Every time you see him, a shot of Iron Man, he's pissing.
Now, because
forgive me.
He was just originally called Piss Man. Okay, I'm sorry.
No. I want you to keep talking about this, please.
We need to talk about this because when he turns into Iron Man, he's usually just wearing his clothes.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I think what's happening.
Good.
I think what's happening because he's just like, people wonder how I pee in the suit, just like that, and it implies that the suit is taking care of it. Yeah. I think he's just wearing adult diapers. I don't think there's any advanced technology. He's just wearing diapers under his clothing so that he doesn't have to take off the suit when he has to piss.
Like, we've never seen him come out of that Iron Man suit in less than a full adult outfit.
Right.
Like, he's never come out in his boxers or whatever, right?
No.
Yeah. He's always in that, like, luge suit.
Yeah, so he's got a Depends thing going
onesie.
on.
Yeah, or maybe he's just... it just distributes the piss through his clothes, and he's just so moist afterwards. He's just caked in his piss every time.
Yeah, he's just a soggy little guy.
It could be using it to cool him off. Like, maybe he's designed the suit to reclaim and reuse,
to
right?
like suck off his piss. But
yeah,
so is the suit? I guess the question is, when he has to piss, does the suit have a little arm that like comes out and unzips his fly and fishes his dick out, fishes it out into a tube, and then says like, "Okay, Tony, you can pee now. It's okay, little guy, you can pee." And then he pees, and then he says, "All right, Jarvis, I'm done." And then the thing like it shoves his dick back
Normally,
zips him up.
I would say this is a bit of a fanciful question for you, Dave, but his clothes do present this problem. You're right. They do.
That's why it's like it's either that or it's actually really low tech and he's just wearing diapers.
Yeah. It is
I think he's got like a bunch of little chainsaw teeth down there that just rip the front of the crotch of his pants out every time he flies into. As soon as he puts the suit on, it just goes like and just sucks it off like with a little airplane toilet tube like.
His tube's got scars on it, is what we're getting at. He's got a lot of scars on there,
Yeah, and then there's got to be like a little catheter bag area, right? And how much of his suit is devoted to piss? How many times can he piss?
At least 18% of his suit's functions are devoted to piss.
Yeah.
Right, because you think of an Endgame and like when he's just in space all the time with the suit on and days, like there's got to be points where he has to, I guess what I'm noting, he has to drain. He has to like open a valve and drain the piss, and it probably just sort of pools around his feet, and he walks, or he's flying.
He's got an RV situation. It's like there's a little tube in his ankle. He's got to go to like the septic tank that he keeps in his house to deal with all the excrement he's collected.
He's a billionaire. I think he is just flying over whatever country he likes the least,
and crop dusting him.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he's giving him the Dave Matthews.
Yeah, exactly. Or I think he's doing like meet and greets after an adventure. He's taking pictures with kids and he walks away and the kids are like, "What smells like piss?" And they like look down and there's just like puddle of piss, like where it's like he's just dumping out where he can when he can,
with like gold flakes in it.
Yeah, unless our listening audience thinks this is an exorbitant amount of time to spend on this. It is really a huge plot point that continues in all of the Marvel movies.
He brings it up.
Yeah. They spent time on this question.
We don't know how he dumps out. If he dumps out in the suit, or does he do that separately? I imagine if there's a diarrhea emergency.
Oh, it purifies his poop too, and then he drinks that.
Right.
Yeah, because Tony Stark, I mean, after this party, he's hungover, and it's like, yeah, you're gonna have the burning squirts there after that night.
You can't just soldier through it drinking your own poo poo and pee pee. That's they used to call
that's
it
not good for you in the long term.
No,
in the long term,
listen, man, he's dying. He's kissing oblivion in this party.
Right.
Yeah,
he's like,
care.
what do
he's
I care?
Shit.
I'll eat my own shit for now if I get to be Iron Man 2 more days or whatever.
Yeah,
it's worth it. It's worth it.
Meanwhile, Don Cheadle is disgusted. Just absolutely disgusted by everything he's learned about Tony Stark, including,
particularly
holy shit, you got poop schematics? Yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah. You're drinking your own shit, man. I can't
I'm taking this suit. from Hammer Justice Boy, who I think stole one, right?
Doesn't he? No, he steals Tony's suit. They're at a party.
He steals Tony's
like,
prototype.
I'm pissing myself, and I'm going to piss on all of you, and I'm going to open you all up and piss on you, and then Cheadle is like,
this is bullshit.
I'm going to go just steal one of your fucking suits, and I'm going to fight you, Tony.
Right.
And luckily, I know exactly how to use this suit immediately. And that implies that it's simply not hard to be Iron Man than any of us. If we just got in a suit, it would be like, welcome, here's how it works. It's like starting up like your first,
it's like an old friend. Yeah.
It's not like a considerable part of the original film was dealing with him kind of sucking a little bit at and getting gradually better until he's finally mastered it.
Yeah, I imagine he just like worked on the UI since, and he's just like, okay, now for whatever reason, I've made it so that anybody can fly one of these.
Yeah, it's just Windows 11 in there.
Yeah.
Well, that's not how he did it. I think we can all agree with that. But, the equivalent Starkified version of it, sure.
It's somehow worse.
I bet you could play games on it. I bet you could like play Minecraft. You could be
doubt.
like flying in space, just playing Minecraft.
You can know he's yearning for the mines while he's pissing in there.
Oh yeah. I think like when he's solving crimes, that's when he's like just collecting resources. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he builds on his way to a fucking world event,
right? And he's just strip mining while he's fighting.
Exactly. He's like, I got to get stones. I got to get like coal. I got to That's what it's going to be.
He plays a lot of idle battlers too. Trying to maximize his leisure time.
He can probably have Jarvis do a lot of it for him.
Jarvis does. That's how he gets so good, man. That he has Jarvis farm the uniques for him in Destiny, man. He's not going to do that. He can't run the Nightfall every week. He's Iron Man.
Jarvis has to do all of his mining for him, so Tony can just craft. Tony just does the crafting, and Jarvis
Jarvis do everything.
I'll go get some fucking wood and some stones.
Right,
I guess
just do creative mode at that.
Yeah, some wood, you piece of shit.
He's like, no, it doesn't feel honest if I do it that way. I need somebody to do the work for me.
Yeah.
That's right. So, Jarvis is running the Nightfalls. Oh my God, Jarvis has to figure out what the burn is.
That? Yeah.
Can you imagine? Oh my, Jarvis has to fucking keep a fire team together so that Tony can jump in and play the raid once in a while.
It's real Musk energy.
Yeah,
Musk energy. Yeah.
Running with all randos too. That's a struggle.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they don't have a fire team builder in fucking Destiny back then. We all remember that. Nobody can fix that.
I think this is Tony Stark. I think I'm playing with Stark.
We're playing with Tony Stark's robot.
Oh, shit.
So, all right. So Cheadle is like, I'm going to fight you. They fight in the party. Everybody's horrified and runs for their lives because two robots have begun to fight.
Right,
and like lasers are like blasting over their head. They're like their hands are shaking. They think it's like a fucking shooting.
But just to be clear,
like they're going to need therapy.
It took a lot for that party to break up. That party did not want to break up.
No,
like those people.
I
were
wouldn't have left.
Yeah, we're gonna hang for most of this.
It's got the vibe. I've been at these parties where you're at like a party where you don't really know anybody, but you know something's going to go down.
Oh yeah, something's happening.
And you're like,
you gotta
like
be there.
a party where you're at like someone's house and then you can tell that one of the roommates just doesn't want the party. And it's like, they clearly didn't talk this out. This is a bad scene. And you're like, we should go. And it's like, let's go when we find out how this escalates first. Then we'll go.
When it seems like the police should have gotten here first. That's when we get out. Which is what this crowd does, basically.
Yeah. They wait to the last second they veer away. And they're like, okay, robot fight.
Yeah, we got to get out. Yeah. They're breaking literal glass walls apart. We better get out.
Yeah.
It's funny is Don Cheeto's, like, that's like his specific reason for wanting to intervene with his own robot suit. He's like, Tony, you're being drunk and dangerous in that Iron Man suit. I'm going to have to put on my own Iron Man suit to de-escalate this situation.
Even more dangerous. Yeah. Yeah, because he does make it worse.
We got to maximize the collateral damage here.
Yeah. Tony, I mean, maybe he establishes one after this. I know he does the remote control, but he needs like a suit safe word that like only Pepper has. You know what I mean? Where it's like, listen, if I'm being this at any point, just say like abracadabra at my suit and it'll shut off.
Yeah,
or
safe
something.
word. Yeah. This should be a safe word. I agree.
But we're figuring it out.
I got to be honest with you. do we even need Tony Stark to be conscious for Iron Man to be effective?
Okay. That's the funny thing is that in Iron Man 3, I believe, he gets knocked out and the suit flies
Jarvis
him.
flies him home.
And
Yeah.
I'd love to imagine that on that way he like stopped a robbery. Like it's
Saved a bunch of things. Yeah.
There's a very funny premise of Tony Stark dying in the suit.
Yeah,
And
he's just Weekend at
fucking
Bernie's. Yeah.
Yeah, just flying around with his corpse decaying in there.
Just like it's Iron Man zipping through the air, it's just his fucking dead body just flopping along.
every now and then someone's like
a
thanks,
windsock.
Iron Man. And Iron Man looks over, gives him a thumbs up, and opens the mask to like show Tony's
maggots in his eye
corpse.
sockets. Yeah.
Right. He
closes
drains out
it.
of the suit when he opens the mask.
Yeah, there's
Holy shit.
Yeah, that seems like Iron Man 4 could be about that, right? Anyway.
Iron Man 4 should be about.
Iron Man. He's Tony
Cowards.
Stark. He's basically Krang. Like there's nothing to Tony Stark himself. It's just he's got a big, beautiful brain
and charisma. The same charisma Crane has. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, Shredder. Anyway,
So I think one of them goes, "I don't need this," and flies away. And I think it was, I'm going to say Tony Stark.
I think, yeah, Danny
Because he ends up at
Cheetos
Randy's
wins.
Donuts.
Yeah, he
Right?
goes and sleeps in
Yeah.
the donut.
Yeah.
And that's when Nicholas Fury shows up.
But
and he's like, let's get donuts.
But also, Danny Cheetos then takes the suit to the U.S. military.
yes.
Who's been
He's
wanting
like, Fuck
one.
this.
Yeah.
Tony is too dangerous. I'm going to go give the suit to the military.
Right, to somebody who
famously
can be
not
trusted.
dangerous,
Yeah. The
Right.
United States military.
who's never done anything wrong.
So forgive me. This is the part I just want clarification on. Is Justice Hammer Time part of that committee?
Yes.
That gets a hold. Yeah, he is, right?
He's
So
the
that's
one that
where-
reverse engineers it for them.
Right.
Yeah, they pop some real boners here, if I
Right.
remember.
So that's where like we have this interesting background thing that's happening where Justice Hammer Time has basically forced Cletus Whiplashki to make him suits, right? But
Yeah.
like Cletus is being weird and like not very happy with the board that was delivered to him. So he doesn't really make suits. He makes like droids.
He makes
Like,
drones.
yeah.
Yeah.
He makes like
they do like a Dumb and Dumber with his bird, right?
Yeah,
They give
yeah.
him like a fake bird.
Yeah,
and
that's
he's
right.
Like, this is not my bird.
This is not my bird. Why
I
is
have
there?
a specific bird, you jackass. He
Yeah.
keeps being like, I want my bird. And they're like, we got it. You want birds. You want birds. And it's like motherfucker.
Yeah, just get his bird, man.
I'm asking for a specific bird.
Yeah.
They're acting like it's like a lost in translation.
Right.
And
It's like
no,
you
man.
have so much money, dude. You can't get my bird. It's at my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here is address.
It's yeah.
Here's
His
his
name-
address. What do you
Just get me my fucking
I have
bird.
board sitter. I have probably owe $150 to now.
You-
Please
could
pick up
you-
my board.
You broke
You pay
me out
that,
of
maybe
super
free pay it.
prison. Yeah.
His name is Parapete. Just get them out here if you could. Anyway, so
It's not
They
that
have the-
hard. Shit.
he really lost Cletus's vote of confidence when they refused to fly out Parapete. So Cletus was like, you know what? I'm building some fucking muscular droids that look like they're out of fucking Star Wars prequels. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna build
Right,
those
and
motherfuckers, but with some muscles behind them. Like that's
Right.
what-
Hammer
In fairness,
goes
he's probably
rogue.
going to do that anyway. But yeah,
Sure.
Hammer Time does make an enemy out of this dude for no reason.
Yeah, and
Right.
then Hammer Time, after he's gotten Danny Cheeto's suit, is like, you know what? I'm taking your shit away. I'm fucking pissed. I don't need
I don't
you
need
anymore.
you.
Right?
Yeah, he keeps burning bridges.
Yeah.
He makes these these like RoboCops, and he's like, the fuck is this? I asked you to make this other thing.
Suits,
I'm
yeah.
not at all suspicious about what this might be. You made a robot army. I don't need a robot army. I can't do shit with this. And it's like, I think you can. But I think he pitches it. He's like, this is better. It doesn't require a fucking dude in the suit.
Right.
The Iron Man suit, as we just talked about, doesn't really need a guy in it.
Nope.
In fact, like the guy is a liability. Like this is so obvious. Just make drones, you jackass.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, we want like a cool guy in a suit.
Justice dances so furiously in opposition.
Yeah.
Just the most furious rejection dance of that idea.
Angriest rejection dance. Yeah.
Just-
now, in fairness, this is how the U.S. military operates.
Right.
Yes.
No,
Right.
we said suits, but this is better. We said suits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he goes off to fucking once
The
Cheeto
fucking World's
Cheeto
Fair
shows
where they
up.
show up, show off
expo.
all the military's weapons. You know.
Which that's one of the funniest things
Well,
in
hold on,
this
we're
movie.
skipping some beats.
We are. I just want to clarify. In that moment where he's like, I don't fucking need you anymore, he leaves two guys who are clearly not that tough to like watch
Yes.
to watch Cletus and like, you know, keep him in his fucking room till
they
I get
treat
back to
him like a
deal with him.
nerd.
Yeah. And it's like, this guy just beat the shit out of people with a whip he made out of fucking scrap metal.
Right. He walked
What are you-
onto the racetrack and almost killed Iron Man.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you're not dancing clearly here. You're not dancing.
No, he's not dancing.
You know, like
clearly.
you need to dance a little clearer, buddy.
Yeah. Your dancing is clouding your judgment.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
And so
Don't
Back
leave
on
him with the
Randy's
two
donuts.
softest dudes in Blackwater.
yeah, that's right. That's right. Meanwhile, back in Randy's Donuts, Tony has a hangover.
yeah, and
Right.
then Black Widow.
Yeah.
This is where he's like, surprise, she's the widow, and Tony's like, you're fired. You've been spying on me. And this is where he's like, you need to do a science montage and solve your shit, right?
Pretty much. Yeah, he gets a pep talk that's very like fatherly from Nick Fury.
Yeah. Because he worked with his dad. So
Right.
he's plucking at them dad heartstrings.
Right. He's like, look, your dad didn't fuck me over, so he must be cool, bro.
Yeah. You can
It's
cling
fine.
to that, right?
Yeah, and then does he do a science montage?
No, what happens is Tony watches a video clip of his father talking about some stuff.
He does
The
a treasure
equation
hunt.
for the
And-
new element. That's right. Yeah.
The equation. I just need us all to acknowledge what this equation is. This is what it is. Okay. This movie posits the idea that Tony's father understood there was gonna be a new element, but couldn't synthesize it. Therefore, designed this like expo place to have the same atomic makeup as this design.
He did a treasure hunt.
Yes.
For his son.
Yes, and like his son had to like.
That's how you know he loved him.
Who could only solve this riddle? That is, what if the expo is like the element?
Yeah,
that
but
I
I have
don't
to get
didn't
rid of
invent,
shit.
but invented.
I have to get rid of a bunch of shit to see it. It's harder than any puzzle in fucking Riven, but I'll solve it
Yeah.
because I know that I already know what the answer is. Really, it's like the only way you could do this puzzle.
All right, so he does. He
I'm going to
goes
use
through.
Captain
he goes.
America's shield.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
goes through all this old shit, right? And he brings out like the puzzle itself,
Right.
And then he's like, Jarvis, scan the puzzle, and then they scan the puzzle,
It's
and
a
then
model,
he's just
isn't
like,
it? Yeah, it's a
the model, and then he's just like, eliminate all like roads, eliminate all bathrooms, eliminate this, eliminate that, eliminate this, take away this, take away this. Oh, it's an
It's
element.
a fucking element. And Jarvis is
And-
like, I don't think you can build that. He's like, shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck
Yeah,
up.
and
Jarvis.
then in like an afternoon,
He like synthesizes
invents-
Jarvis a body so he can slap him.
Yeah.
Ever
And then
talk
he
to me
makes
like
a,
that again?
he makes a
Back,
new
Tony's back. You
element.
don't talk to Tony when he's fucking back.
Fucking robot.
In like
Build you another cheek so I can smack that one. Sorry.
no, in like a weekend,
sorry.
he basically spits in the face of God.
Yeah,
and
that's
goes
right.
like, I have
Dave,
created
he
a
spits
new
in
element.
the face of God every morning he wakes up.
But honestly,
But,
all
like,
we've
Some
been watching
impossible thing.
we've been watching the few moments he hasn't been spitting at God's face. That's mostly what this movie's been.
Right,
The only
like
times in his life
drinking
where he
himself
hasn't
to death.
been doing
It's like,
it.
yes, here I am. Like I can recognize this.
He's human enough for me now. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
When Tony, spoilers, when Tony dies, like straight to hell with him, right? Like
screaming
show up
down
in
into
the end,
hell
yeah.
like a
Show up in the end,
bullet
he'll
in one
get-
of those
he'll have a-
iron suits.
Yeah, he'll have a beat at the pearly gates where he's be like, so I saved a lot of people. I'm like, yeah, no,
you
you're
did,
out of
but-
here, man. You created a new
DC comes
element.
on and the,
Yeah.
the portal opens up beneath him.
I
Right?
mean, they're down there waiting for him.
Yeah.
Some Motorhead track comes on. Time to play the game.
Motorhead.
Yeah.
So he creates an element.
He creates an element that makes it possible to power his suit without poisoning him, right?
And here's a question.
That's the idea.
Does he then pass on that element to like a research team to perhaps know
it's all
if it could
proprietary.
cure other diseases?
Everything he does is proprietary.
He creates a new element and then he just puts that in his pocket.
Just to be clear, the movies say that is the element that he uses to power Stark Tower and no other part of the world, right?
Yeah, and again,
it's part of his energy.
The arc. That's the arc device thing.
But
He's
this
already
is an
invented
improvement on that. This is an improvement on the arc
it
device.
Is. It is, yes. And again, and a new element, one would imagine, to go back to Minecraft, it's like a new fucking block in Minecraft where you're like, well, that changes everything.
Right. Now I can build wizard staffs or whatever.
What if you mix it with this element? What if you do this with it? Nope. He's just like, it does the one thing I need it to do, keep me personally alive, and I will never speak of it again.
Gives me triangle power and a real badass wrist laser.
Right. The
My
secret
curiosity
element.
ends right there.
Yep. And so he just forgets about the element.
He's a rich guy.
I got to tell you, if they'd really stopped to think about it, it's so obvious that Tony would have made whips with that thing. Like, he would have absolutely made, because he doesn't want to make better stuff. He just wants to make the version of things that he thinks to show that he's better at it. So him making a whip version with this new fucking light power would have been the perfect thing for Tony Stark.
It would have been perfect.
Just like, here's my whip, and it's fucking stupid and more.
Yep.
You know, that's what we needed. More and stupid whip.
Yeah.
He didn't do it though.
It's two whips tied together.
He's not going to do.
It's a whipocopter, and it's just like
It's a whip that has its own whips.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we needed.
It's the
got
inception
little arms
of
at the end of the
whips. Yeah.
By the way,
themselves holding smaller whips.
I know this isn't like the point,
It's an
but it
Ouroboros
always
of whips. Sorry.
no, it whips its own tail. I agree. It always frustrates me as a person who will probably never own a home to watch how much he fucks up his mansion. Every single one of these movies, he is tearing his mansion apart in ways that are like, just get a contractor out there, man.
Oh, yeah.
Just buy another
Tony,
one, man.
I mean,
I
Tony
know, but
is
like, donate to the children. Like, you know, don't wreck a mansion. I am kidding.
Tony
it is a comedy podcast.
He'd be one of the first to the guillotine. I'm sorry. Again, like
He'd shoot right through it.
I remember being shocked watching, I think, Civil War, one of the later Captain Americas, where Captain America's on the lam, and they're like, let's go hide in this Apple store. And it's just like regular laptops. And it was just like, there's still just regular computers.
We didn't get anything
like,
out of
he
that.
has holographic computers, and we're still having to get fucking iMacs for like $3,000. And it's like, fuck you, Tony.
What's even funnier is they return to that exact point in Avengers when they have that ridiculous carrier craft, the fucking hover carrier. You know what I mean? And like then he has these like high tech fucking displays that he's like really interested in, but like critiquing. Like he's like, from a design point of view, why would this guy with the eye patch use the fucking monitor this way? It's like, how about if you're this concerned about it, release the fucking display tech, man. Give it to Apple.
Trickle this shit down.
Yeah.
Because it really seems like there's like a huge gap between what you have now and what rich people have and what the rest of us have now. Like it's going to be like Iron Man suits for all rich people at a certain point.
It's strange to me that
zipping around doing their errands in Iron Man suits.
And we're down there in our fucking like Toyota
in the
Camrys.
coal mines. Yeah.
We're in our Justice Hammer Time suits.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really shitty, but they dance well. At least we can dance our sorrows away.
All twisting forward.
Spine twisting in half.
Like a fucking soda can, you know, like a soda top.
I love the idea of suits that just keep snapping people in half during dance maneuvers. It's just so those lower rungs of society eventually just become a bunch of corpses in dancing suits.
Right. It's like a game of musical chairs. You're just waiting for the moment where it's going to happen. You have no idea when it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're just frantically trying to finish the dance.
Do we learn anything else about Tony's backstory here? I'm trying to remember that like we need to know for
his dad loved him.
Yeah, right.
Or like he hated him. It's like he's like, my dad. And we're like, yeah, your dad, Tony. You have a relationship with him. Complicated relationship.
I could spend a lot of time on how stupid that puzzle was. Like, that puzzle offends me on every level as a video game player.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like...
It's like if you saw, like, a coded message of letters and you said, what if I randomly eliminated a bunch of letters? It spells something out.
Right.
It's like, that's just not how that works.
Yeah. Just the idea that either of them could have comprehended that puzzle, that his father could have thought, here's what the element will look like. Too bad I don't have the tech to make it. I better embed it in this fucking thoroughly dilapidated, complex model that he may never see.
Right.
You know? Anyway, moving on.
All right. So he's like, I did it. And then that's when they have the Military Industrial Complex Expo.
Yeah.
That is the most dystopian event ever.
It's like fucking Comic-Con there. You know? Like,
where everybody's just like, war, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's kids going, and it's just like, we're going to show you our war robots.
Yeah. One of the thrilling moments, one of the final dances for Justice Hammer Time, my favorite part about it is that he'd just gotten through threatening somebody, so it's just a funny contrast. Yeah. And then we look at Gwyneth Paltrow and fucking Scarlett Johansson, and they're just confused. They're like, why does he do this? Like, they're the only people that like seem to notice that it's happening. And that really just delighted me. I needed it before he goes off on, congratulations, it's drone o'clock, motherfuckers. Hammer drone.
Hammer drone.
Yeah, hammer drone.
And then he jigs onto the stage. He moonwalks. He does a bunch of dances. Everybody is like, we like you now.
Yeah.
We want more Tony Starks. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you're our next Tony Stark.
Not only are we not upset about the deal that Tony Stark is, we'd like to add more of that to our world. We'd like more of you to exist than you already do.
All the war crimes Tony Stark did, we'd like more.
Yeah.
Yes.
All the chaos,
ideally,
the economic uncertainty. Could we get more people involved in that? Yeah.
And so then they're like, here are my Ameribots. And they're all these motherfuckers. They come up. They do muscles.
Yeah, they do like a dance.
They're like robots. Yeah, they do a dance.
It's like a flyover at a football game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then he's like, also, I got a guy in a suit that's not really. I didn't really design. We stole one of Tony's suits, and here's Murder Machine. And he sits down with Murder Machine, and Murder Machine like flexes.
They've put an actual rocket launcher on his shoulder as though we needed.
They sure did.
More weaponry in the suit. Like, it wasn't weapony enough. Could we add more? So they put a fucking like a Turok style fucking bazooka behind him. You know,
right.
It's very silly. Yeah, no, it's awesome and silly
because it's sweet.
Yeah,
and then the murder bots are like, oh no! And then we cut to Mickey Rourke, and he is like ripped everybody in half.
Yeah, they're all
and
dead.
he's like sits down with his laptop, puts on his little glasses, and he's like beep beep boop boop. And then the murder robots are like, yeah, we work for Mickey Rourke now.
He's like, I'll always miss you, Pete. Right? Yeah. And then it's deploy.
I miss my board.
I miss board so much.
If only board was here to see this. My greatest
he would have been
success.
so proud.
I'm so proud of me, board.
He pushes deploy.
Little parapet.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Anyway, he deploys the fucking drones and they start wreaking havoc.
And they just 9/11 everything.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Hell yeah, it's awesome.
Real bad.
Yeah. They're like, you get a 9/11, you get a 9/11, you get a 9/11.
Yep.
They just murder all these people. And I remember, I think a little kid is like, I'm gonna stand up to you, and he wears his little Iron Man,
his little Iron Man mask.
And Tony saves him at the last minute, as if he isn't one of thousands of children,
right,
who have been
like all over that place. Or other kids are just getting reduced to ash by these robots.
Yeah. Now, if I remember correctly, when Tony starts properly fighting these people, Danny Cheetos can't control his suit.
Correct.
Right? Like
his suit's
co-opted.
evil.
Right. It's been co-opted by Cletus.
Cletus Whiplashevich. And more evidence that Iron Man does not need Tony in the suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's getting it's kind of weird that they presented
really
that
making
problem.
the case.
Yeah, they really are.
I mean, in the third movie, I believe they have a drone suit that he just zips around with. And so, okay, so how does Cheetos? What?
How does he break free?
How does he break free? Does he just wish it? Is it like the power of love?
Yeah.
Okay,
That seems right. He's like, I have the power of love, and then like his wrist ejects some fucking holster shit. For whatever reason, this movie decided everything operates like an old-fashioned shotgun, where like it needs to like eject shells.
Yeah,
and,
it's
like
like,
load up again.
that's how the piss comes out too. In little, little
Just a
capsules.
little piss shell. You know.
And so his love
It's like a
rejects the
paintball.
evil, and then they fight him all. They punch him up. They
Yeah.
go boom, 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 bing, bang, boom.
Essentially, we get to see the shoulder rocket finally. You know, Chekhov's shoulder rocket, and also Chekhov's laser heart. Because Tony gets one cool new toy with this element he created, which is a laser that can cut through the fucking sun. It seems, right? Like just it can cut through anything.
Yeah.
It gets
He's gonna have to go to another hearing for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember he does.
Yeah.
He does a break dance with lasers, and they just go, and I assume there's like someone in Kansas who's just been bisected. Like it's just
Oh, those
gonna
lasers don't
shoot.
stop.
infinite lasers that cut anything. I'm just gonna shoot him in a circle
Yeah.
and hope for the best.
I assume
like the
that
Empire
child he
State
saved.
Building is getting cut in half.
Yeah, that child he saved got bisected.
Oh, yeah.
like 5 minutes later.
It's like the ending of a samurai film
Yep.
where it's just everybody's just sliding in half. Yeah.
And then, he ejects the shells, the laser shells, I guess, and he's like, I can only do it once.
Right.
It's
And I
a
did
good
it.
thing.
And he's like, that felt great.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good thing everybody at the expo was killed, honestly,
Yeah.
because what maniac brings their family to
Oh,
a
yeah.
demonstration of military weaponry?
WarCon? Yeah. It's fucking
WarCon
WarCon.
2010.
And then Mickey Rourke, they're still fighting, and he's like in his own suit, right? He got his own suit.
Yeah, I think
Right?
so. Yeah,
That's-
that makes sense.
He has a Whiplash suit where he's like,
Yeah.
it's super Whiplash. I have super whips. They're fighting him in, I want to say, a greenhouse.
Yeah, it's some.
Because he's in New York, they tracked him down to there. It's like at some point in this movie, they tracked down where he actually was. And they were
And
like,
he was
"It's
here
Hammer.
the whole time, right?
Hammer has him.
I thought he showed up. What happens to Hammer? Does he get? Oh no, he just gets like
Hammer gets
dragged
arrested.
He
away.
gets arrested.
a big
Yeah.
like a big cane comes on stage and whips him
Just
away.
yanks him off, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, don't hurt him, Hammer. And they like yank him away. And yeah.
Right. And so they're fighting Mickey Rourke in the greenhouse. And that's when he does the laser break dance too. And does Mickey Rourke, they like beat him down and he's like, I'm going to explode.
Yes.
As is, you're right. And then he's like, everything's going to explode.
All the
When I
drones, too,
explode,
yeah.
the drones explode. Because that's
Yeah. That's
because
right.
fuck you all.
And he says, at least my
I
father
always
loved
knew
me.
this was right. My father and Bud loved me.
Yeah. He's doing a predator.
Can you say the same, Tony Stark? Do you have a bird?
Have you a parapet? No.
And Tony's-
and a Papa Pete.
We forgot, sorry, we
My
forgot
father's
another
name was
plot
Pete.
line.
Oh, sorry,
Because
what's
while
that?
this is happening, Pepper teams up with the widower, and they're like, "We're going to go do something that's sort of important, but not really important."
Right.
And they have a whole hallway fight with Hulk Hogan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hulkamania finally gets
And
in action.
And she's like, "I'm in leather. I'm going to flip over a dude, and I'm going to fling him with my legs. I'm going to eviscerate this man with my fucking legs."
She does a
And
lot
she
of cool
just, like,
flipping, yeah.
Yeah, she's just sort of flipping and legging and flipping and legging. And then they like push a button and they're like, "We did it." Or whatever they were doing. They were doing something.
Yeah.
I think they got to another elevator, bringing it full circle, Dave.
You're right.
They got
had
all
to
the
go
way to
an
another elevator. Yeah.
To push a button. They were like, "We have to push this button or else Tony will fail or something."
Yeah.
Like they were doing something.
Yeah, the
They had a
salvation button.
purpose.
They pushed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't just pushing buttons willy-nilly. There was a purpose
There was a
to
big
this.
button that said save Tony, and they pressed it.
Right. And so that's happening. And then Pepper, when all of them explode, Pepper's like, "Oh no, I'm going to explode." And Tony has to go save Pepper, right? because he brings her on top of a building and they romantically watch as 1,000 little 9/11s happen.
That's how I remember this. Yes.
Okay. And Cheeto has to save something too.
I think he is it's a multifaceted solution, right? Very much like the Jericho missiles of yore. They have like many different problems that spiral out, and they all wrangle it together, you know?
They're all going to explode. We have to save all these people.
Yeah.
And then Tony's like, I have to save
Yeah.
the Peppers.
Yeah.
And then he's like, marry me? Does he, or maybe, I don't know what he's like. He's like, I love you.
Do they get engaged here? Is that where that
When does he jump out of the helicopter and say, you complete me?
I think that's at the beginning of the next one, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
So I think they smooch at the end of this one, right?
So they just smooch.
Don't they just smooch? Don't you just smooch?
Yeah. And
at long last, smoochies.
How's the Hulk not mad at that move, by the way? The Hulk's like, I did this shit already. You know what I mean? And like Tony's like, I did it better. AC/DC comes on.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's cooler.
Yeah, it is cooler. That's really his whole thing.
Does the movie end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually it ends.
Yeah.
But like, is there I know there's post credits, but before the credits, do they smooch and then it's just like Iron Man 2, or like, is there like, does he like talk to Nick Fury and they're like, we did it?
No.
I think
ends.
at the end of this one, it's...
Oh, he goes back. No, I think he goes back to Congress.
Yeah. Oh, they're getting medals. They're getting medals pinned on them like it's Star Wars.
Right.
That's
and
right.
Shanling's like, wow.
Yeah.
I hate this.
And
it's like, well, someone else,
I have to do this.
someone else could have done it, Gary. But whatever.
No, that was the whole thing, right? They were like, they get to pick who pins it on them, and they picked. They picked Larry Sanders.
Yeah.
And then Iron Man
facing it.
Yeah, he sack taps him.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He's like, your shoe's untied. Sack taps him and then gives him a kiss on the forehead.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm just
just
kidding, buddy. I
humiliates
love you,
him.
man.
Yeah.
And then Shanling's like, I'm gonna join Hydra. Fuck this.
Yep.
I knew I made
then-
the right decision joining
Yeah.
Hydra. Hydra never makes fun of me like this.
And then it's credits.
Forever. It's credits for a very long time after that.
Right, but then
Yeah.
there's an ending credits scene, post credits.
You remember it?
Okay.
You remember exactly what it is, Dave.
Okay, it's the desert, and someone's like, we need to call Nick Fury. Nick Fury, you're not going to believe this. And there's a hammer in the desert. And then that's it?
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's
Is that
right.
the
Yeah,
one?
they found Nick Fury's hammer. He'd lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could have gone to Home Depot, but he was like, I like that.
No,
one.
it's my hammer. I want my
That is
hammer.
the one, right? The end credits, the phase one end post credits are all just like setting up the next future films. And considering that the next one is Thor,
Yeah.
it must be that. Or rather, it is that because I remember it perfectly.
Yeah, you were
that's what
100%
happened.
correct. Yeah. You're absolutely correct, Dave. I don't know why you bothered questioning yourself.
Yeah, those of us who hadn't read the comics watched that and were very excited about that. They were like, oh, yeah, cool. He's got a hammer?
Yeah.
I get it.
Yes. I remember being very confused
Yeah. Oh, okay.
because it was like
Neat.
there's a hammer, and I'm like, okay.
By the way, like
Cool.
not to be critical, it's not even that clear that it's a fucking hammer. The way the
No,
thing
because
looks,
it's not like
it's like a cube with a stick hanging out of it. It's
right.
like,
It's not a hammer that we think about.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
It'd be
Yeah.
a hammer that'd be really difficult to use. Like, you couldn't
Yeah, how
really
could
do
you
any
use it?
projects with it.
No. Like what
It's
size
not,
nail
it's
you
not
need
a very
to
good hammer, yeah, honestly.
Yeah. What are you building with that?
I do want to stress, like, as someone who, and I know it's not for me, as someone who wasn't a comic book fan, like Iron Man ending with, I want to tell you about the Avengers Initiative. Like, and then I was in the audience, everybody went like, or like, woo. And I had to be there, like, next to people, like, yeah, cool.
I
all
care
right.
about that.
And then,
too.
like, going home and quietly Googling, like,
Right.
yeah, what? And it's, yeah, a lot of these are that because, yeah, Thor's hammer, everybody was like, oh my God. And it's like, yeah, that thing.
So, but maybe it's effective for that reason, right? Where it's like making you Google is better than making you watch a trailer for something that you're not interested in yet.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that the MCU was effective.
Yeah. No doubt. For a very long time.
Yeah.
For a very long time.
I would also say that.
Yeah, I think they made a buck. They made a buck off this.
They made $1
fellow.
or two. Yeah, you know it.
Yeah. They squeezed a few pennies together. What did we learn, Dave? Tom, what have we learned from this?
There's a lesson.
Yeah. What is this parable about eternity and the human existence taught us?
Well, for starters, it taught us that pee-pee and poo-poo is nothing to be afraid of.
So many ways to deal with it. You know what I mean? Like, just deal with it.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's all over our skin when you really think about it.
Which now we are. This movie forces you to do that, to really think about it. You know?
Yeah.
You really have no choice but to think about it.
I think
quite
the bird
honestly.
I think the bird's a metaphor for that, because a bird shits everywhere, and so do we. We're just like birds when you really think about it. But like, and like
Birds, Dave. Birds.
Yes, I can hear the fucking John Williams theme and see you flying against the sunset now, Dave.
Because Hammer's the bad guy and he doesn't see the individuality in the bird.
Right.
Because he's like, whatever, birds are birds. And it's like, no, we are birds.
Yeah.
We're individuals.
Right.
We shit everywhere. We would shit on
we're all
paper, on
birds.
newspaper.
Like, life finds a way for shit. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all shit white like a bird. And so...
And I've never been to a doctor.
and so like it's, and they shit on the news too. Remember, the birds shit on the news. So that is a metaphor for like misinformation.
Yeah, and for being really anti like blues rock and Huey Lewis specifically.
No kidding. Can you imagine if Jarvis is like, listen, I know you want to listen to like that Iron Maiden record one more time. Here's fucking a Muddy Waters track, man. You know what I mean? Here's
Jarvis starts slipping in music that Jarvis wants to hear slowly.
Yeah, here's one Miles Davis record. Just one. You know what I mean? Let's just see what happens. That's all. Shut the fuck up, Jarvis.
You know what I bet?
Fuck out of my face, Jarvis.
I bet Tony showed all that music to Thor, assuming Thor was going to be really into it because of what a Thor looks like.
Yeah.
But Thor's probably into like weird chants and shit.
Yeah, he's into Earth
like,
music, like world music and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, like you show Thor like Enya, he's going to love Enya.
I mean, who
like
doesn't? Really.
That's true.
But yeah. You know.
She lives in a
I would
castle.
also say this movie teaches us that human beings are not necessary to make war. That in fact we should just let the robots fight. Let them fight. Could we?
We should robot jocks it. Like if anything, like we could fight wars. We could fight wars in a computer at this point, where we just like my algorithm versus yours. Whoever wins gets New Zealand.
That's fair.
That is fair.
Yeah.
I agree. I think we should get that written down somewhere and make everybody sign it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Great.
It's time.
Yeah, we could be fighting in the Matrix.
Yeah.
I think we've reached the conclusion of this movie. Yeah, that's it.
I think so. I think we did it.
All right.
We did a good job. We did a very good job.
We did. I mean, thanks for listening. Although you should be thanking us.
Well, you'll share
for remembering it perfectly.
And you'll have something to share with future generations. You know what I mean? You won't just have to remember it around a campfire like we've done. Now you'll be able to record it and send it for posterity.
You can just play this for your kids.
Yeah.
It's slightly shorter than Iron Man 2, so this will save you time.
Yeah.
At the end of this, Adam, do you want to plug any projects, any things you're up to?
Yeah. I don't know if my movie will still be in theaters by the time this is out, but my movie was in theaters, Sanibel, in Florida. I don't know when it's coming to streaming, but someday soon. We're working on it. That's a documentary, and it's going to exist in your face very soon.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mike and I have rebooted a series on a website and YouTube channel called Cracked. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. Cracked. Called Escort Mission, where he and I... It's basically he and I do the One-Upsmanship podcast, but it's not called that. It's called Escort Mission. And so please watch that so we can continue to do it and make some money. That would be nice.
Yes.
You know? Also, we do the One-Upsmanship podcast, one of our best products. It's on the Small Beans Network along with many other podcasts you might like, such as, See a Space Pod Boys, our Cowboy Bebop podcast, or I'll Show You Mine If You Show Me Yours, a thing I do with Maggie, or Direct Your Piece Theater, a thing we'll get back to soon, or other podcasts like Escape from the Multiverse, and so on. And finally, if you're like, but Adam, I do all that, and I still feel like I don't have enough of you. I love you more than your mother does. Can I please hear more of you? Yes. I also do a podcast called Lynchpins about David Lynch with Maggie Mae Fish. There's a new episode coming out very soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do all that.
Yeah.
We have a Patreon, which I think some of these episodes will be behind the Patreon of Marvelin.
Okay.
We need to work that out.
Great.
Amongst ourselves, but it's patreon.com/gamefully unemployed, GAMEFULOY unemployed. It's this network, but as a Patreon. And you get so many exclusive podcasts for $5 a month, like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Star Trek The Next Futurama, Spiel Boys, our new series Himboos, which is about supernatural, all for $5 a month. All of them. Everything.
It's so too much, really.
I love it.
Yeah, and for a little more, you can watch movies with us every Friday night. We watch movies, sometimes Marvel movies. We watch Kraven the Hunter.
I gotta say,
it's a Marvel movie technically.
Himboos thrills me. What a thrill that podcast is. Everything about it. I don't care about that show, but I will watch it now because of you. You've ruined my life, is what I'm getting at.
Thank you.
And I
Well,
appreciate
I'm glad.
it. Yeah,
of course. Anytime we can ruin your life.
Oh yeah. We endeavor to ruin everyone's lives.
Well, you've done it. You've got
Good.
it.
Good. That's the goal. We also have a store. Head over to gamefullyunemployed.com. You can find a link to our Teespring store, where we have all kinds of cool original artwork by cool original artists like Michael Vincent Bramley, Starlene Hodge, Justin Brown, and others. So check that out. Rate and review our free stuff.
Yeah. And let's all dance out of here with our whips in the air.
With our whips and our petapeats.
And on
our
the count of three.
Papa-Peats.
Count of three. Let's all urinate ourselves.
Oh, man. Way ahead of you.
We're marveling. What's your price to fight? To travel back in time to 2009.
No, wait, it's 2008. It's fucking 2008. God fucking damn it. That's what we get for fucking marveling.